How's it going, YouTube? Decided to make a video today that I thought would be interesting. Gonna do 10 super slicing knives that cut better than most, I guess you could say. They're not really in order or nothing, because it's kind of hard to judge them all. They're not all at the same level of sharpness, and my calipers aren't the best, so I just picked 10. Probably missed some, but yeah, it'll give you a good idea of what to look for. First one we'll say what makes a knife super slicey. For one, a full flat grind. Say if the knife goes from here to here, one flat. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what a flat grind is. It's got to have a thin blade, and it's got to be thin behind the edge, or you can have a hollow grind, which it usually makes a very slicey knife. If you got a hollow grind, and the least amount of resistance, that always helps when you're slicing. So if you got a DLC coating or some sort of coating, it's going to take a little bit more effort to cut through something than others. Also, you don't have a full flat grind, or this part will slow you down. Even this kind of finish will slow you down a little bit. Acid stone washed, sandblasted finish will slow you down a little bit. So satin or some kind of regular stone wash probably be the smoothest cutting, but the blade finish doesn't matter as much as the rest of the stuff. Alright, I've yapped enough. Let's get into this. Kubey Coeus. One of my favorite Kubeys, actually. It's a very pokey knife and slicey. It's got a full flat grind. Pretty thin behind the edge, but I will say it's probably not as thin as the rest of them on this list. And this is a D2 knife. Usually you get these for 40 or less. It's got great action, priced really well. I'm not sure if this is a stone wash finish or not, but it's very slick, so that helps out. Plus I got a laid back edge on it. I'll try to link every one of these knives down below. Sencut Mims. This has got a coating on it, which I just talked about. Still slicey. Probably be slicier if I had the satin, but it's good enough right now. Not a lot to say about this one. It's not completely a full flat grind, and this little area might slow you down a little bit, but it's thin enough that it still slices pretty good. Got Spyderco Delica, the Wharncliffe version in K390. It don't have to be K390, but I've found out that my Japan models seem to have a little bit thinner blade than the American made ones, and it really helps out when slicing. Definitely ain't the best one on this list though. Probably my best Spyderco slicer. If you got the Endura, the Endella, the Police, probably about the same results. Here's the reason I made this video. So I was sharpening this up and I was seeing how thin behind the edge it was. Made me want to make this video. This one's don't even have a full flat grind. So you might get a little bit of resistance up here, but still slices very well. It's incredible how thin this is. I can't really measure it with my cheap calipers, but it's definitely under 10 thousandths. Here, I got another one that I wish didn't have a coating. The Sencut Slashkin. This one is super thin behind the edge and slices really well. You can definitely destroy some cardboard with this one. This one's in D2. I didn't say. This one was 154 cm. and the Mims was 9CR. But yeah, Sencut and Civivi knows how to do their hollow grinds really well, and they know how to make some slicey knives. Definitely one of my favorites. And here we got the best Kizer slicer. This is a mini Roach, and this has been the king for a while. It's like paper thin behind the edge, and it'll cut through something before you even know. Yep. Not the prettiest scales. This one's 154 cm. And also, another Civivi. Of course, the Elementum. It don't matter which version you got, the Wharncliffe or the drop point. The hollow grind helps it out quite a bit. If this was flat with this same top of the blade, probably wouldn't slice as good. But the hollow helps it out quite a bit. And the satin finish doesn't hurt. This one's a Nitro V. Here we got the Artisan Ahab. This one's a full flat grind, kind of a harpoon shape. Very weird looking knife, but I like it. And it slices really good. Still got the factory edge on this one. Yeah, what else to say? Last two are Twosuns. This is a Twosun TS376. This is definitely in the top 2 or 3 on this list. It's got a really tall blade, and it is very slicey. You could definitely use this on a cutting board or something like that. Cut food. It's D2, which is the only really drawback. But under $100, you get stonewashed titanium, max design. Yeah, they did a home run on this one. Not completely a full flat grind, but really close to it. And a nice looking stonewash. And the last one, Twosun TS419, a redesign. It's in D2 still, but they also got the fancy one. A few different versions of this now. Got a micarta one, the D2, then they got a carbon fiber one with Twosun's own still. Yeah, this one really thin behind the edge, thickens up a little bit at the top, but still slices really well, especially compared to where Twosun was at a couple of years ago. It's surprising to have slicey blades coming from them. It's got a factory edge on it and still slices great. So yep, that's my 10 slicing knives under $100. Of course I had more, but you forget them when you're going through a collection trying to make a video. So yeah, get them all up here. Let me know what your favorite slicer is, and subscribe if you haven't. Give me a like or a comment, and see you on the next one.